In Part 3 of the Zoom video series, you will learn how students will access your Zoom meetings and how to utilize in-meeting controls to ensure a positive experience for your attendees. Additional tips and recommendations will be shared at the end as well. As you learned in the Zoom Part 2 video, you will need to share a join URL link with students and ensure that students can join from their browser. Directions on how to enable this setting were covered in Zoom Part 1. Students should not enter their first and last name for security and privacy reasons. Instead, ask them to enter their first initial and last name, or their first name and last initial. When students join a meeting, you have the ability to display meeting attendees in gallery view. As you can see, names are displayed at the bottom of each attendee's video thumbnail. Teachers should not take screenshots or pictures of this screen and post to their personal social media accounts for privacy reasons. Next, we will review important settings a host can control during a Zoom meeting. Remember that as a host, you will need to click the Start button found on your landing page to begin a Zoom meeting. Once you start the meeting, there is a taskbar at the bottom of your screen. There are several important features that you will want to become familiar with as you conduct meetings. Starting at the bottom left, the first icon you will see is your audio control button. By clicking this button, you will see options for selecting your microphone and speakers. You can also choose to mute or unmute your microphone using this button. The next icon is your video control options. By clicking this button, you will see which camera is being used and the option to choose a virtual background. The security icon has been recently added by Zoom. It puts the most useful security features in one location. Here you will see options to lock the meeting. This prevents attendees from joining after you have locked the room. You will also see the Enable Waiting Room, which should be turned on automatically. Additionally, you see the options for controlling the share screen, chat features, and lastly, there is an option to allow attendees to rename themselves. Some students may have previously joined a Zoom meeting and entered their first and last name. By turning this feature on, they will have the ability to change their names to first initial, last name. Next, you should see the Manage Participants icon. This is an important tool for hosts to maintain control of their meeting attendees. A new window will open to the right once you click on this icon. Hover over participants' names to expand options. You should see a button that says More. You can quickly mute or unmute an attendee using this menu. The chat icon is next, and it will be important for meeting hosts to monitor this window. Here, students can ask questions, and the meeting host will need to keep this window open to monitor what is being said. Private messaging between participants should have already been disabled. The share screen icon has different options that meeting hosts will need to pay close attention to. Currently, it is recommended that NMPS teachers disable the share screen option for participants. If you are in the middle of a meeting and a student needs to share their screen, you can quickly turn this feature on for that student using this menu.
NMPS teachers may choose to record portions of their Zoom meeting that focuses on direct instruction. Before recording, make sure you have finished greeting students and ensure all students have stopped their video. Select Manage Participants at the bottom to verify students have turned their video off. Then, using the In-Meeting Controls, click the Record button to begin recording the meeting. This will allow teachers to focus on capturing instruction to share with students who are unable to participate in the live Zoom meeting.
The last two icons are for breakout rooms and reactions. Breakout rooms is a useful tool for small groups of participants to meet separately and then come back together to the main meeting. However, this is not recommended for student use. Reactions allow participants to click a thumbs up as a reaction to what is being discussed. To end a Zoom meeting, click the End Meeting button at the end on the right. In closing, there are several tips and recommendations for Newport News teachers who want to use Zoom with their students. Prior to conducting a Zoom meeting, it is important for teachers and students to test their camera and microphone. Users should find a quiet, well-lit location to conduct their meeting. You might need to remind students to wear appropriate attire, just as they would if they were in school. Take a look at your surroundings and ensure nothing inappropriate is in the background. It is also important to discuss appropriate behavior and to determine rules for participating in a Zoom meeting. Additionally, teachers will need to plan ahead for virtual meetings with students. It is a good idea to develop an agenda and share that with students prior to the meeting. Begin each meeting with reviewing class norms, online etiquette, and digital citizenship skills. Once all students have joined a Zoom meeting, the host should lock the meeting so other uninvited guests do not attempt to join. Teachers should make use of the in-meeting controls to manage participants. Have another adult or teammate join the meeting to help manage the chat window. Last but not least, NNPS staff members should not conduct one-on-one virtual meetings with students. Thank you for watching our third and final Zoom video. If you have watched all three, you should enter the URL below into your web browser to complete a Google form. By completing this form, you are indicating that you have completed Zoom training and that your Zoom settings are in compliance with NNPS recommended guidelines.